Hello, hello, hello. My name is Rick Ramirez. I'm also known as Rick's Two Cents. Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live, along with my fellow co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything.
Howdy.
Roger from Roger Shop.
Howdy, howdy.
And Andy from Andy Bird Builds.
What's up, everyone?
You're not going to do three howdies?
No, I had to change it up.
It was on the bottom, and it was, I don't know, just look at the draw before. Andy was on this side, Roger's on this side, and this week we're switched up a little bit. So,
switched up the order on you.
I'm a little tired, to be honest with you. It seems like longer. They always want to call me at like 3:30 in the morning, and I told them I get up at 4:30 in the morning, right? Like, what time is it where you're at right now? Let me tell you where it's at right now. So like, call me like, call me late, like, when it's, or call me real early first thing in your day, but like 3:30 in the morning, and they just want to have, and then they don't respond right away. Ugh, so I'm dragging today. No beer for me tonight. Just the water.
You'll just fall asleep.
Yeah. So I can't say I'm not dedicated to getting everyone these a free laser, but it's just been
Giving away free stuff is awesome.
You're here, man. You made it.
Yep. So let's see here. There you go. Here's our banner. All right. Looks like there's quite a few already in the live. Chris, good day from Perth down under.
Australia.
Clayton, our loyal fan. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha, everyone. Please smash that like button.
He's like super loyal fan.
Yeah, Clayton said that he's ready to win this new laser. He's ready to add it to it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you guys haven't checked it out yet, we have a Facebook group. That's the Shop Talk Live. And people have been asking about some of the files I use and things like that. And I was always thinking, how the heck am I supposed to share these files? Because they're pretty big sometimes. Well, if you remember the Facebook group, I posted 4 lantern files yesterday that you can check out for free $99. And they're actually pretty cool ones. They're not just like lame looking art ones. So let's see here. A to Z said, hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So anyone working on any special projects this week? So I kind of walked in half with you guys talking before we went live.
I was playing with the Com Marker UV laser, and I pumped this thing out.
Nice.
This is engraved on ceramic tile. This is a deep engrave, actually.
So it's not painted. That's just white. And
no, I did. I engraved it and then painted it.
Okay, cool.
So UV lasers don't make things dark, right? Because they don't burn, they ablate stuff, which basically means just blowing little bits of it away. And so you don't get like a dark score like you would with a diode laser, for example.
Yeah, UV lasers also don't have power, right? They have pulse widths.
Yes. Yeah, there's no power setting, which is a little odd. You got to get used to it.
Yeah.
So how did you describe how you got that color then? So
once I had the deep engraving, this is down about probably, well, even calling it a deep engraving is a little misnomer, but it's down about 1 millimeter maybe. And then I just literally, I'll put a YouTube short out, but I basically just took a black paintbrush or black acrylic paint and blotted the entire tile black and then wiped it off.
Okay.
And it just came out amazing. It was actually amazing before that, but it wasn't black enough for my liking. The nice thing about acrylic paint is you can make that any color.
Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking about doing multicolor. But I need a good jig to get the tile back in the right place. Otherwise things will get messed up, or whatever material, not necessarily a tile.
Just cut yourself a grid.
Yeah, it's easy to make a. Here, I'll show you another thing I did today on the same laser. I'm having so much fun with that laser.
Nice.
If I can figure
out. You said it's the Com Maker?
Com Marker Omni 1.
Marker Omni 1.
So this is my own selfish thing because we have I made these spice bottles a while ago, and they all had labels on the front with vinyl cutter labels. And now we had our kitchen redone, and now the bottles all stand vertically, and I couldn't tell where anything was. So there you go, just engraved it. I actually did the glass too. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, there it is right there. So that's engraved on the glass. And the beauty of UV is no cleanup, no material prep. You just put something on there and engrave, and it works. It is sweet.
So I added a new tool to my shop I've been wanting for a long time.
Drill press. I think I have the same one, actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
Different name on it, but I think it's the same one. Looks the same.
Yeah. So
Mine looks just like that too, but it's a different brand. It looks
mine's
just
a
like
Harbor
it.
Mine's a
well, I've got a Master Force from Menards.
It was, I'm telling you, I'm right now doing the inlays for. This is what I've been working on. The bath things I showed you guys earlier, but these cups, they're like a beveled glass. Everyone makes these bath. What do they call them? Baths. Caddies. They got different names. Bath caddies, all different names. But everyone puts this slit that you put a wine glass in. And I'm like, I think that's stupid because it's right above their thigh. And if they're in a hot bath, the glass retains heat, so it'll start warming up their drink. So my idea was a wine glass that's these round ones, but to take a cove bit and make it the perfect dimension so that it actually sits in there and it won't topple over, and then it's the perfect size.
Yeah, see, I was thinking there might be a reason why those things are built the way they are. Maybe somebody's done some testing before you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had to buy a couple of these bits to get the size right. Let's see. These guys.
That's a big bit.
Yeah.
Rick, you know you could do this with a CNC, right?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
But but the thing is cool is that that I can show someone that you don't need an expensive CNC. You can go buy a cheap drill press. You don't even need to be a big drill press like this. Or you can do it by hand with a drill if you're good, if you're steady, and make that. Because I think that's what, like, small finishing touches is what sets you apart from others, right? There's nothing wrong with seeing someone's idea and making your own version of it and just improving upon it, right? And sometimes small little things is what's going to set you apart from others.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like the color inlay that I did, it's probably in a bad spot, but and then the candles on the side and then the wine and they're there. You look a little better when I grease it back up, but
you have a CNC, don't you, Rick?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I have the same 2 trees ones that you have.
Oh, the 450, whatever it is,
yeah,
TTC
yeah.
450.
Yeah,
it's an okay starter.
Little guy, yeah. It's a little guy. So my whole idea behind that CNC is that I think a CNC is not necessarily a bad investment, but I think you're going to know right away if you like it or not based on the software. I think you're either going to say, like, this is too much, or I can learn this. And you're either going to be all in or all out, right? So I don't think buying something small to be able to use software to say, like, is this something I can be in my comfort zone on before I go buy $9,000, $20,000 item? And then the other thing is we also say is that if you have one, you have none. So
yeah, the tedious balance on CNCs, though, like the entry level ones, is the really good software generally doesn't work with them, so you can't really get a good feel for whether you can get this or not. Like I know I'm not encouraging anybody to drop $6,000 or $7,000 on a CNC just for fun, but those machines are actually to some degree easier or at least clearer to understand than some of these real cheap ones, the entry level ones.
I've got a solution.
Go ahead.
not promoting Vectric, but Vectric has a free trial.
Yes.
You can go download the software, and to Rick's point, know if you're in over your head or it's something you want to do. That'll give you a really good idea.
Yeah, and they actually have several products that are all based on the same platform, starting from something that can basically cut straight lines to something that can do 2.5D.
Roger, there's a comment. Where's your shirt at? Why are you dressed like
it's a little chilly up here tonight. It's 58.
Ooh.
That's why I have a long sleeve shirt on tonight. Give me a couple of weeks, I'll be back in Mexico. I'll be back into the other shirts.
Yeah, I was running too. I had to. We're building 2 new sites, so I had to go pick up some supplies, and I got to go drop them off tomorrow. And crazy fighting traffic.
It was cold and very windy here today, as
Oops.
King Richard can tell you because he lives in the same neighborhood.
LTS
and the wind was just insane. It was like 30 miles an hour all night last night.
Wow.
LTX Design said, "Hey Andy, how experienced are you with inlays?"
Ooh. There's a lot of different kinds of inlays, but I'm assuming like CNC wood on wood inlays. I think I've done 3 projects with wood on wood inlays with the CNC. Done a lot of epoxy inlay work.
Have you used the new inlay tool in VCarve?
I haven't yet. Nope.
It is sweet.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It takes the tolerance finagling out of it.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of you had to do a lot of math in your head to make the old stuff work. The new thing is you drop an image on and say, here's how deep I want it to be, and here's how much room I want for the glue underneath it, and boom, you create 2 sides. You create 2 pages, and it puts both sides on for you.
That's sweet.
And you just
I've heard really good things.
LTX Design, I would say, do you have a question in particular? That's why you're asking, because maybe he can still help you.
Yeah, follow up. If there's something in particular, I'm sure the 4 of us together can.
Yeah,
I've only ever done it twice. I did 2 projects, and that's all I've ever done with inlays.
Yeah, if you haven't used the inlay tool in you use Carveco, right?
Yeah,
I think it has an inlay tool as well. But I would say if you haven't used the one in the new Vectric software, you will never want to do another inlay without it if you've used it.
So Steve, the other day, last week, we laughed. I said, I got a message from someone that said that I was not a woodworking channel, because the whole laser thing, and it was from a CNC manufacturer, and I said, well, I guess if I'm not a woodworking channel doing laser engraving, then neither are you, because a real woodworker would not consider CNCs woodworking either, right? And you said, well, you'll never hear back from that guy. And I kind of laughed and said, probably not, right? Well, guess what? They emailed me back, and they were like, hey, we didn't apparently look at your social media that well, and you do have quite a bit of information. So do you want to work with us? And I was like, sure. So I sent them their most expensive CNC they had, and they were like, oh, that one sells really good. So I sent the second one most expensive one they had. And they said, well, that's selling really good. And I said, well, then what do you want to send me? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That whole religious war over whether it's woodworking or not is ridiculous to me. But
yeah, I just thought it was funny. I wrote in the reply, I literally laughed out loud when I read your reply. That was my reply to them. Minnesota. It says Windy City Smokers said, I make counter top cocktail smokers on Etsy. Got my first big order, 22 smokers for corporate gifts.
Yeah, awesome. Good deal.
Congratulations. And as small as an item as it may seem, you never know what that could bring for the future, right? So that's definitely a good customer to bring to the table. And business owners know business owners, so you never know. They may give you a completely different business, has nothing to do with what they do, because their buddy also owns a company. No. I just got invited to be a vendor for Refuge Rucks with Bear Independence in Arkansas. That's cool.
Oh, you're on the preferred vendors list. That's a good thing.
Clayton, I'm having fun with my laser master. There you go. He's using that Arturo.
It's 11 the H10. Yeah.
Pennsylvania. Clayton says, I seen Steve's video about him getting a saw top soon.
It was Rogers. I would love to have a saw stop. That's in the 2025 budget.
Of course, I'm getting a little bit of grief back from some of the comments I get. It's overrated and you don't need that. What you got is fine. And then I get all the other comments about, well, it's about time you got rid of that finger cutting machine you got with no guards and no riving knife. And hey, it's just it's my choice what I want to do. And I keep pointing out to people, I got all my fingers.
Yeah.
I'm still keeping my old school saw. Call me stupid. I've been called worse.
Yeah, see, it's a little different as you get older because you get forgetful. Like, oh, the saw's running.
Yeah.
You always forget that once.
I find myself getting that way, but I'm still alert with the table saw.
Chris said I always start small and cheap if I'm not sure what I'm getting into. Yeah, exactly, Chris. I think he was replying to the CNC.
Yeah, the CNC thing. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Everybody probably started cheap with CNCs, but when I look back at like at one point I had a 3018 I got just for fun, and I thought if anybody actually was judging CNCs by this tool, the whole CNC business would die, right?
It really would.
Yeah.
I just think. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just not like when you think about like when I compare it to what my current CNC can do, like auto homing and tool changing and all those sorts of things, fourth axis. It's and then the misery that you would have to go through with a 3018. I've talked to numerous people who said, "Oh, I'm going to buy a CNC," and when I ask what they're going to buy, "Oh, I'll just get one of those cheap 3018s." And it's like, no, don't do that. Save. I know they're cheap, but save that money because you're going to be disappointed. So but there are good ones at the entry level. I like the Genmitsu. A lot of the Genmitsu models are pretty decent for the money.
I think the difference is going from the bottom of the barrel to the I'd say high middle of the road is a big difference in price. Like if you bought a 10-watt diode laser and then you went to a 40-watt, that's not like it's not drastically expensive, right? If you bought a Monport K40 and then you went to the Thunder laser sitting behind Andy, that's not like that's not a dire make or break situation for most people. But I think if you got a little cheap $300 CNC, $500 CNC, then you jumped into $11,000 or $20,000 CNC. That's a big difference. That's a big.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Like I said, I wouldn't prescribe somebody to go and buy a $5,000 or $6,000 CNC if they've never seen one before.
So I was honest early on and said I was honest early on when I started with the fiber lasers. I said that they say every mentor has a good mentee, right? A mentor, right? And so I had Chance, a lot of people know him in the industry, kind of school me and do some tutoring and teach me how to use the fiber lasers. And I talked to him earlier today, and he had told me that a guy literally told him, I took out a mortgage against my home to buy this laser. So it's a make or break or dire need. Like, I need to succeed. And when he tried to explain to him was that, like, dude, you can be the best person. You can have the best skill set in using a piece of equipment. You still need to market to sell it, right? You could be a great salesman and a horrible woodsman or woodworker, whatever, or you could be a good woodworker and a horrible salesperson. That's two sides of that coin, right? In business.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the forgotten piece of the business. You can make stuff, but you have to sell it too, right?
Yeah, and that's literally where I've made a career. My second career is on that fact. Selling it is, to most people, harder than making it.
Yeah, and ironically, I think it's probably the most important thing.
Right.
Right. There's lots of companies have proven you can make a really terrible product and sell it out every week.
Yep.
But it's hard to make a really great product, and if you can't sell it, no one knows, right? So.
Yep.
So I got a message yesterday because of our video last week when I said about the Aldi's cutting boards, right?
Yeah.
And they said they went to Aldi's and they sent me a picture, and it's this Christmas tree. It's a decent sized Christmas tree, and it's wood on the outside. And I should find it in my messenger, and on the inside's a candle, right? And I guess it was like $5 or $8. She made a Christmas ornament so that you can buy it and wrapped a ribbon around it to give it as a gift, and she's selling for $65.
Wow.
Yes.
That's selling good. Out like
good money when you can get it.
And I'm like, what the heck? But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like
it's the handmade moniker that gets hung on it, right? Even though you're using all kinds of tools, it came out of somebody's brain and ended up as a product, and people respond better to those sorts of things.
Right, but we're just talking about smalls that sell. Keep it simple, stupid. You don't always have to reinvent the wheel. It's not something you're gonna sell all year, but it's seasonal items that you can just like flip quick. You know what I mean? Don't do some crazy big design. Don't get too complicated with it. Just get rid of it. Like I said, I literally tell my wife, go to Aldi's, whatever they have, I don't care. Just swipe it on my credit card and I'll deal with it later. You know what I mean? That means there's 50, or it means there's 200. That just means I got to work twice as hard to sell it. You see me all over Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're gonna sell.
So this is a good frame of mind. Like Steve, you worked in your career was it a product-based company? Software, right?
Yes. Yeah, all software. Well, hardware and software, but
hardware and software. But like if you look at like any company that is making and selling things, like if you look at the expertise and the money that is put into development, to marketing, like just that whole operation to make a business run, like it's mind-blowing when you think that you can do that all yourself, even on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Like you have a company that has all these different people with different skill sets that are experts or professionals at what they do. And we attempt I say that because it's impossible to do yourself and be good at it, everything. Right.
Right.
It's the jack of all trades model, right? It's and I certainly don't do a lot of things because, hey, I think I can do them better than anyone else. It's that there is no one else, right? That's the challenge. Yep. And, it's like small businesses tend to run on pretty tight margins. So if you hired someone, then they're eating your lunch, right? So it's a tedious balance.
Yeah. And so I think that's why I focus on the side hustle aspect, because to go from a side hustle where you make, let's just classify a side hustle under $10,000 a year, to go to the next level is really, really difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy to do.
If you're by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're by yourself, it is extremely difficult. And so I always try to be really, really honest of like just to start a full-blown enterprise business by yourself, like that doesn't happen overnight. And I know that's common sense to most people, but a lot of people think that it's possible too, or they tell themselves that it's possible.
And you didn't know that if you sell those wooden triangles with the mountain peaks pointing on the top, you're going to become a millionaire overnight.
Oh man, I'm missing out.
If you put it on a coaster, it's 100 million.
You need to make these. I just love it when it's like, I'm going to go to Etsy. Okay, it'd be one thing if you say, this is my Etsy store, and I'm willing to share some items that are top sellers, but they're not. They're going to other people's sellers, right? So if you are so good at this, how come you're not doing it yourself? That's my first question when someone's telling you something.
I get that question. I get that question a lot.
You know, and but you can say, yes, I'm not just teaching a course, I'm doing it at the same time. So like, I'm not saying everything I do I succeed. I'm saying learn from my mistakes, leapfrog from that. Don't beat your head against the wall for a year. I'm going to teach you all this knowledge I gained in 1 year, give you that leap, motherfrog. You know, in 1 month's time, you'll be able to learn what took me 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you're going to start off a lot better. And you're still going to have to go through your struggles, but by going through a course like yours, it's going to put you on a different level, right?
It's going to save you 5 years of trial and error.
Right. But I just don't get these people that are dishonest people and saying, you know, these are smalls that sell, and they have like 286,000 views. Like, do a search, Christmas smalls that sell right now, and it's the same things. These Christmas trees, these mountains. I'm sorry, it's a triangle. They stain it brown and they point this little white on the top, and it's like the top 10 people who are promoting those type of videos, and people are making it. And then you see it on Facebook groups, and they're like, "I went to a show today, I sold nothing." Like, why did you think that would sell? Like.
Yeah,
you know.
But to Andy's point that you can't start as a mega corporation. You look at even big like Apple, right? Apple started as a couple guys in a garage.
Yes.
46 years later, they became a $3.5 trillion company. Yeah, you can do it, but you know, I don't think anybody's going to make $3.5 trillion on woodworking projects. But
no, they're not going to. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not possible.
Yeah. But you can make a living.
Yes.
Right.
But and I do know people who've made a living doing woodworking.
To me personally, though, I won't take advice from someone unless they're doing what they're advising me to do.
Yeah.
See, if you're doing better than me, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
You know,
let me ask you a question. And there's no wrong answer, but is there a difference to you in listening to a person that is currently doing what you want to be doing versus they've done what you want to do, but they're not currently doing it?
So I don't think there's a problem with either, right? And the reason that I would say that is, like, you could say, I'm going to do one-on-one coaching. I'm going to offer. I was just talking to Chance about this. He showed me a schedule. He said he's booked out from here. He said, "Hey, Rick, I want to do some work with you, but I can't do it till December 22nd." And I said, "Why?" And he literally shared his screen with me, and he showed me a schedule. And he was booked from 7 a.m. to 11:30 at night, 6 days a week for the rest of the year. And I says, "Dude, all I hear is cha-ching, but you have to have a life."
Yeah.
I said, "I'm a lineman. Like, hey, I know that, right? Like, money, money, money." We used to say, but like, you have to be able to scale yourself. So I'm getting to why I'm saying this, is that if you're only one person to scale yourself, if you're doing these one-on-one coachings, right, then you can only do this one-on-one reaction. But when you create this course like you've done, right, that course in itself could evolve to the point that you can no longer do your business, right? Or it maybe becomes a side burner and your primary becomes the course because you're teaching someone to do it. But the point is that you're just not somebody with an MBA that's all of a sudden, because congratulations, you have a business degree. Now you're going to tell me business 101, you know, how to form a business, how to get an LLC. And you know what? When someone's first starting a business, they don't need to worry about business accounts. They don't need they're not making any money. You have to first find your first core things, you know. So
preach it, Rick.
Yeah, so it just upsets me. It upsets me because I think that our economy is doing really, really bad. I think we're in this for the next 5 to 7 years. I think that from the top to bottom, no matter, and I keep saying this, no matter what your income level is, we're all scaling back. We're all making adjustments. We're all looking at side hustles. You know, someone said a couple weeks back, you know, what is my channel about? And, you know, in my woodworking channel, and I said, no, I'm an entrepreneur channel. I'm a maker's entrepreneur channel. So that means if you're doing something with your hands, that's what my channel is about. You know what I mean? in whether, so it could be a marketing thing, it could be physically doing something. It's an entrepreneur, but to give people misleading information because you want to buy these people these courses, um and and they're like, some of these people are like, you don't know how bad they are, like how desperate they are, to the point that that's why they're doing it. So how do you, man, how do you go to sleep at night? You're just conning people, so to me, if you're getting a course from someone, the requirements to me to be reputable was they have to at least do what they're preaching or have done. And there's nothing wrong with them no longer doing what they're practicing, because they could be so successful at teaching other people. They can't no longer do that because it's grown to the scale that they have to concentrate on that. Or they have to decide, what do I want to do with my life? Do I want to be someone who's teaching someone to do this? Or do I want to continue to do what I'm doing? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with either way, but I think that if you're teaching a course, that you should have at least done it or are doing it. And if you're a consumer and you're getting it from anyone who hasn't done what they're telling you to do, you're just getting scammed.
Yeah. I've had all these thoughts, and I've fought all these battles and these demons. It's actually held me up because of that fact. I didn't want to be labeled as someone that, like, as one of because course creators have like this bad, in general on the internet, they have this bad kind of, like you said, this bad rap in general, because there's bad players out there, right? Yep. There's scammers out there. And so, man, that mental battle of that, like my course, I only talk about things on my YouTube channel for the last 4.5 years. I only talk about things that I have done or have experience with. There's things that I don't, that I'm sure you could learn somewhere else, but I haven't done them, So yeah, it's I agree. I think there's a lot of people, and not just in the woodworking space. This goes way beyond the woodworking space.
I think that's a rule of thumb for any course.
Yeah, it's across the board.
So like same thing, these people, you're trying to become so YouTube is owned by Google, right? So whether you own a nail salon, a Greek or Italian restaurant, a Mexican taco truck, a woodworking, you could take anyone's marketing type course and apply that to your way. Now, I'm not saying that a woodworking marketing course or something directly geared towards your type of business would help, but someone who's really successful in marketing, they can help you, right? So, and YouTube is a great resource, and obviously because Google wouldn't have required if it wasn't, right? So there's reasons that you can use YouTube or use things to rank your website and things like that. And also, just like if you were to have a GoDaddy website and you had videos and you had those videos hosted on GoDaddy, video files are huge. Your hosting packages have to be very expensive. So if you take the same video, upload it to YouTube, not only promoting your channel, promoting your video, but then you just take that video and import it into your website, and you're doing that. So it's like you're getting traffic from both directions.
Yeah, I think a good life lesson is don't take advice from someone that hasn't done what you want to do.
Yep.
Just in general, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I've been getting pounded by a company wanted to charge me $125 a month to go over my YouTube channel, and in particular, they're interested in the podcast. They see that we should be in the top 5. So, and it's a very reputable company.
I think I've been pounded by the same company lately.
Yeah, it's a very reputable company. Yeah. This is like a Mr. Beast status. That's the elite crew that these guys are with. So,
the challenge. So the reason I didn't jump on these guys and say, come on in, was what all they're really promising is, well, they're not really promising anything, but what they're suggesting is they can bump your subscription count, right? And it's like, I don't care. Like, I mean, it's great. Hey, I'm happy that I have subscribers, but that's not why I do anything that I do, right? It's like, to help people is the real goal, right? Whether you subscribe or not, I'm going to help you. So I was, I don't know. I went, I sat on it. They gave me a week to think about it, and I sat on it for a while, and I just said, no, I'm not going to do it.
The only reason I was interested in it is I get geeky into analytics. Like I get geeky in analytics. I was Googling and checking all the backlinks on our podcast. The only one that is even coming up on Google in our lives is Andy. Period. I was checking the ranking on our lives. 85% of our views come from directed from Facebook. You know what I mean? So like even when you're looking at some of these, when you go to your views and you're looking at, I got 500 views, like, man, I'm putting a lot of time into this. Only got 500 views. Is it really worth it? What you're not realizing is that views is only YouTube. That's not Instagram. That's not YouTube. That's not Facebook. And Facebook, a lot of people watch. So so that number can be a little misleading. But so to me, it's like it's like a central hub, and you're bringing everything together. So StreamYard to me is a great resource to bring all different things. Facebook has been really the reason how I was able to succeed on YouTube. Like I'm able to sit with you guys, doing something and achieve kind of streamline, go fast, because on YouTube on Facebook I was able to get known because people are watching it. Because if there's 187,000 members in this laser group and I post a laser video, they're a lot more likely to watch it than just the 2 million laser videos that are on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, at least if it's a percentage, right? 5% of the people who come and watch it out of a 200,000 member group is a pretty big number, right? So that's better than 5% of 100 for sure. So it's Facebook, for all of its flaws, and I think it has many, it's a good connector, right? And sometimes it's good at doing bad connections, but it does link people together and people to things like their hobbies, right? Or their careers.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to go on a rant, but I just wanted to make sure that you understand that the reason that we do these podcasts, the reason I did this podcast is because I wanted the ability to be able to answer someone's questions, right? And then at the same token, it became more of a camaraderie of woodworkers. And then the reason I invited Steve, the reason I invited Roger, the reason I invited Andy was because I watched their channels. Like I respected their opinions. Like I was interested in the things that they're doing. They aspired me to do things. So I thought like collectively we'll be pretty kick ass. And
That's
I think we are. So
endorsement from Andy. 2 thumbs up. Well, 1.5 thumbs up.
Yeah, so I bought shoptalklive.live. I now own that domain.
Shoptalklive.live.
Why didn't you just do shoptalk.live?
I got a couple of them, like 4 of them.
Yeah.
So what the reason is because that some people are saying they struggle sometimes finding the lives. So what I'm going to have it do is .live. I'm going to have it always forwarded automatically to the latest live. So right now it's just forwarded to the playlist. And then I'm going to create a website, and I was going to talk to you guys about creating profiles and just maybe a background on each one of us to say who we are, what our background is, why did we decided to do this, and what we offer. But Apple has been really beating on the door about the podcast, so you never know.
Maybe they'll give us a free set of AirPods or something.
Look at what's that guy's name? Rogan? What's his name? He used to be
Joe Rogan. That guy.
Look at that guy. He was a UFC fighter, UFC owner. Now he's a podcaster, and that's his legit income, and he's doing really, really well. Yeah, you never know. And you just said would you take advice from someone who does it, or like what the hell if this thing kicked off, and like what are you? We're podcasters. You never know.
Hey, if Spotify, so Joe Rogan is exclusive on Spotify. You can find it on YouTube, his clips. But anyways, you know how much money he got paid from Spotify?
How much?
$250 million.
I don't need that much.
Then you could just take like $1 million and give the rest to us. We'll be good.
Yeah.
How'd you get Steve
I don't do anything for money, just so you know. Like, it's like I didn't take any job I ever had for money, like full-time job. I took jobs that were fun, which is why if you look at my actual resume, there's, you know, a bit of laser work over here, a bit of software work over here, some hardware work. It's just a little bit of everything, because I followed things that were interesting to me.
You guys,
I was gonna say that explains OnlyFans, because it was fun, I guess.
Well, yeah, a little bit of that too.
you heard it here first, guys. Whatever money we make, we don't have to split with Steve.
Yep. It's a binding contract.
Steve doesn't want.
Yeah, but you're going to take a big financial hit if I'm not part of it. So
That's true.
I don't think that's true at all. Where are we in that? We're getting way behind in the comments here.
Yeah, so we had a question here. LTX Design said, I have a file from...
yeah, so this is about the inlay, the follow-up to the inlay. So Brown Wood, I need to resize, change bits, and convert from metric to inch.
Why do you have to convert?
I was going to say, and I'm making fun of myself because I'm the guy who always says convert from metric to inches, but in smaller items, don't you want to use metric because you can use a smaller? Isn't it easier or not?
Well, I could make that argument, but in this particular case, you're buying a file that's already created.
Yeah,
and if it's in inches, you can just use the inch post processor in your software, and or they all have metric and let's say non-metric imperial.
So let's speak to the resize. So if you're going to take a file that was already done and it was this big and it's a V carve, right? Like it's a V carve inlay, and you're going to shrink it down, it's going to create problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think how I would handle that.
My first thing is, can you ask them, can they resize the image for you?
That's not the problem. The resizing the image is easy. It's just a vector. But the problem here is you've already got tool paths that are, like, if you're carving a big slot in something and it says use a 1/4 inch end mill, and you resize the thing to half the size, a 1/4 inch end mill won't fit in it anymore. So you need to change the tool. Correct. And that means the whole tool path is wrong because the speeds might be different on whatever tool you choose. So lots of things can go wrong if you're resizing it.
So, Steve, do you think he could use? Do you think the new inlay toolpath with Vectric could solve this problem?
It would solve certainly the conversion problem. Like if you have a file that is like a vector file and you just want to inlay it into something, you should be able to scale it and then do an inlay toolpath on it, and it should just work.
It should calculate that for you.
Yeah, it'll calculate. So it calculates a toolpath that's actually called an inlay plug or an inlay slot or whatever they call the other one. So there are actual toolpaths for that. So it does all the heavy lifting for you, which is the whole reason you'd want to use the thing.
Yeah.
You basically just have to say, here's the bit I'm going to use, and say go make both halves of the inlay.
So would you want to then basically dummy the file, so to speak, meaning that have the file itself, remove the toolpath, resize it, and then use that auto tool, whatever, so that it creates a toolpath? Would that be kind of the workaround?
Yeah, that's how I would typically do something like that. If it's an inlay, if this design is an inlay.
Yeah, it's an inlay. So Brown Wood is the one that does the really intricate inlays.
Yeah. So you could just have VCarve do all the work for you.
I guess
just basically have to say, here's the tool bit I have. That's what I'm going to use. Sorry?
I guess the next question to him would be, what software is he using? Is he using that software you're saying?
Yeah, he doesn't say. I'm assuming, I've talked to LTX before. I'm assuming he's using Vectric. So, yeah, and I would send an email to Brown Wood too and ask him if you haven't done that already. And then the other thing is ask yourself the question: do I really have to resize this, or can I just make it as is? Because that's the simplest answer. Cut it as it's set up.
Yeah. If you can fit it on a piece of wood,
if you can make it work somehow.
Yeah.
Bass Pro said, "What is the average time from getting a CNC to comfort level where people are making enough projects to give or sell?"
I don't know if there's
starting.
I don't know if there's a uniform answer to this.
So for me, when I was first getting started back in late 2017, I had zero CNC experience. I had no clue what I was doing. I just watched YouTube videos. And I bought a Shapeoko. And I used Carbide Create. And I would say, I'm going to say 6 months to get comfortable. Now, I still have a picture. If you go back on my Instagram, one of the first pictures, I made this cutout of Michigan. It was my first product. And I gave that to my mom. It was just a profile cut of the outline of Michigan out of a piece of hardwood. And I did that within a couple weeks, like within a week. So, but that was really basic. So you can successfully cut a really basic project in the first week you have a CNC.
So do you think that the gradual change is you're learning the software, you're getting more comfortable with software, you're getting more comfortable with your own, or understanding what you can actually create, or what's the fundamental level?
Yes, I think it's all of those things.
Yes. Yes. But I think something I take for granted now I think when anybody becomes proficient in something, they forget some of the nuances that they had to go through. And I think this is the way a lot of people's minds work with CNC. They see the things that they can create. They see other people creating projects, and it can be anything, right? And that is exciting to them. And then they buy a CNC to create those things, not realizing the knowledge gap that to actually get to that point of where they see people creating like those particular projects, like can be years of skill buildup, right? So, but that doesn't mean that they can't do simple 2D shapes. It doesn't mean they can't do trays. That doesn't mean they can't do engravings. So I think one of the nuances that I often run into is like, I can look at something now, like I'm looking at a lamp right here. And in my mind, I've developed this skill over 7 years. In my mind, I can break it down into components that I can create in the software to create that lamp.
Yeah, you think in toolpaths.
Yeah, I think in toolpath.
Yeah, that's kind of the switch I went to too.
Yeah,
I think, Andy, a good point that you made is that, like we're talking about finances, is that if you're looking to finance something, and you're going to be making a payment on something, that to understand the learning curve, that if you can't just afford to pay the payment as you're learning, and you're expected to hit the ground running, then you better get some help to expedite your learning skill sets.
Yes. I'm not a financial advisor. Take this however you wish.
Yeah, but I personally would say don't buy a tool with the complexity of a CNC on payments until you're like, if it was maybe your second one and you said, okay, I understand the concepts here, now I'm ready to go big time, because you're going to spend a whole lot of money that you do have to pay back maybe on a monthly basis. And you got to make sure that you know this thing well enough that you can make that money back, right? So I would say if this is your first CNC, don't go into debt for it.
Or your company's already making money that can afford to pay
right,
it as
right,
you're learning.
Yeah. If you're going into a new area, right, you're already making all kinds of money, and now you want to expand, right? So you want to learn something new.
Yeah, it's a really if anybody has done this, I don't judge you. It's perfectly fine. Everybody's different, because I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but like, it's a really, really bad idea to finance a CNC machine where you're relying on the CNC to make the payments when you have zero CNC experience. Like, that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I think I just said that too. Yeah, it's you know, if you're comfortable that you're going to pick it up and you have customers, great. Then go, borrow the farm, right? Just, but it's when you're trying to pay something back monthly. So there's an old adage with CNCs: if they're not doing something, you're losing money. So you have to keep that in mind, especially if you're getting it on payments of some sort.
Roger, got a question for you, Roger. What do you think of the longer B1? I think we all have that, right? Longer B1.
Well, I have one. I know Rick has one, and in fact, I'll show you something that got made on it. I just happen to have it laying here.
Nice.
Sweet. Here, hold on. Let us go off camera so you can share it.
I almost have to zoom out here to get in. Just a second here. As far as I can zoom that out. But yeah, you can hang different kinds of wooden ornaments on the bottom. So that's that was done on the longer B1.
I was gonna comment that Merry Christmas looks an awful lot like the Merry Christmas I did. I'm just wondering if you borrowed my design.
Actually bought that. I bought that file.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The one thing I was gonna say is that
design bundles.
I didn't think there was going to be a drastic difference between the Atezza V35 and the longer B1 40 watts. I thought 5 watts there wasn't going to be a drastic difference. I said this before. There is. Yeah. And I don't think it's a big difference if you're making onesie twosies, but when you're making like 100 or something, 50 or something.
Yeah, it's a speed thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing so I got into a discussion this week with a viewer on my channel. Complaining is a strong word. He was raising concerns that he had a Ray 5, and that was 20 watts, and a Sculpt Fund something or other 33 watt, and the Sculpt Fund was basically the same performance. And the same performance could be a number of things, dirty optics, whatever. But the message I gave him was, don't expect that it's 50% more powerful. Don't expect it to be 50% faster. It doesn't scale that way, right?
Well, I get that all the time. I have to tell people it's not linear. Just because you got a 10 watt over a 5 watt, it's not going to be twice as fast or half power. It's just no.
Yeah.
Where's Jay don't play when we get comments like this? Chris said it's not the tool, it's how you use it.
Yeah. Hey, Rick, we need to bring a few things up here. Can't forget about the giveaway next week. Need to bring that up, and
yes,
I've got a giveaway tonight. Is this right here, holding in my hand, is a smart stake as opposed to a stupid one. What this will do on Wi-Fi, and this is provided by HBN, and you're not going to get this one here. You're going to get a new one in a box because I've already used this. You could, for example, if you do Christmas lights outside, you can set it in the ground. It's got 6 outlets on it, and you can, if you have Google Home or Alexa, you can control it with that. Or you can control it off your phone or a tablet just with Wi-Fi. And I'm going to give one of these away.
You can control it with Home Assistant too, probably. If you can control it with Alexa, you can control it with Home Assistant.
Nice.
But it does. I know it supports Alexa because when I took it in and got it set up on the network, all I did was Alexa find my devices, and within 15, 20 seconds, popped right up Smart Stick. So I'm going to give this away, one of these away. You have to live in the United States, somewhere in the United States. If you win it and you live elsewhere, you're going to pick up the shipping. Otherwise, no cost. Of course, you have to be a subscriber to all 4 of our channels. And Rick will go into all the details of what all you have to do, because he's the one that's going to be the investigator. And then we have another giveaway coming up next week of the Longer Nano Pro. And it just happens that I have it set up tonight right over there. And while Rick's telling you about it, I'm going to go start that.
I was going to say, it must be the IR one. You can't see it.
Yeah. I have to walk over there to start it.
So as I said earlier in the live, I was a little tired because I was working with longer to make sure we're finishing these details. Difference in time, 3:30 in the morning, working out these details. But our next live here, the laser that Roger is currently using, or the laser that you see directly behind this ear right here, will be given away. Not the one you see on my screen, but one directly mailed from you from the manufacturer. The requirements for any of our giveaways are that you must subscribe to all 4 of our channels. You must share at least one video. You must comment on at least one video. Man, that's about it. And must like one video. So just like a video, share a video, and subscribe, and you're good to go. If you want to make it easier for me, and you shared it on Facebook, you can send me the link and say, hey, this is why I shared it, so I don't have to investigate. But I would hate for anyone to win anything, and then we do an investigation, and you didn't follow the rules, and you lose. So I also say when we do these big giveaways, do that now. Make sure you subscribe to us now, because while we're doing the live, if you type hashtag Shop Talk Live, those are your entries. So while you're leaving the channel to go fulfill your agreements, you could have been typing spamming away the comments to increase your odds to win. So
yeah, and Rick, you need to get that. You need to get that set up and started for tonight's giveaway. So
yes. So if you want, I'll go ahead and do that. Just give me 1 second here.
Now, if anybody's wondering what that tile is, it's ceramic tile, and it's coated with a mixture of titanium dioxide and Elmer's glue.
So it's
water-based. Well, I found out that when you do that, you can stack them up to store them.
Oh, yeah.
And I shoot it on with a gun. I don't paint it on. I just shoot it with a gun. I do a lot of them at a time. But when you want to go to clean that, you just set it in water for a little while, and the glue dissolves and stuff comes right off.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start the giveaway for the, I'm going to say Smart Light Controller.
Smart Steak.
There you go. So if you were to type hashtag Shop Talk Live in the comments, let me go ahead and share the screen. And so you can see that it has started. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, and we will. Oh, I got to stop. Hold on. I had checked. You can do multiple entries.
Clayton would have
So
been
we'll go ahead and let that run in live. So go ahead and hashtag away. And people were also saying before that during the giveaways, can they still add questions? Absolutely. We have a way of actually filtering out those to be able to read our comments, so don't worry. We're not asking you not try to win something. So go ahead. We'll get back to our.
Where are we in the comments? Did we see this one already?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last one we just answered. So
okay. Oh, this is Windy City's project with the smokers.
5K order. Love it.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good way to start, especially if that's your first order when you just start your business, then you're a happy person, right?
Yes, you are.
Empire Laser Creations. Hi, I'm looking to buy a UV laser to do glass. What will be the best way to go with Calmaker 5-watt or China? Or Calmaker is cheap to buy at the moment. I would say
so. Well, so all UV, I'll say almost all of these UV lasers use the exact same laser module inside, the laser control. They all use this JPT UV module, and Calmarker, there's Cloud Ray, there's a whole bunch of them. They're all fundamentally the same. So go with the company you think is the best, or the one with the best price for you. Now, that doesn't mean they're all, if you buy one that's like a $500 laser, then don't buy it because it's going to be pretty cheap. But I did a review of the ComMarker Omni 1 5-watt, and I love the thing. I showed that tile at the beginning. That was done on the ComMarker. Glass, it's my new thing now. I do a lot of glass over the last couple of weeks. So keep all that in mind. I like the ComMarker.
Yeah, one thing I want to say too is that when you're buying a rebranded laser, and I say rebranded meaning you're buying a laser on the state side versus buying directly from the manufacturer overseas, there is obviously a cost savings by buying it overseas. But the downside of buying it direct is that you have to make sure it's a reputable company, because when you're buying stateside, really what you're buying is customer service, a toll-free number, an email address, a Monday through Friday accessibility. So if you're technical and, or the laser manufacturer has a well-established Facebook group, a lot of times you won't even contact them because you posted on the Facebook group. You'll get your answer way before the manufacturer even have a chance to answer. So that's just something to think about too. And also that's a way to go do research by going to those Facebook groups. All you got to say is, this any good? And if it sucks, trust me, they're going to let you know.
Now, having said that, and yeah, I know I'm a YouTuber, so probably I get a short path into things, but I made a comment to ComMarker as I was testing the Omni 1. I was having trouble with the rotary. And within, I don't know, by the next day, I was on a video call with two of their engineers, their head of engineering and their head of investor or influencer relations. And they were all trying to work out this problem with me, and we did get it resolved. So they were pretty eager to help, and I think that speaks volumes. Because I have had, even as an influencer, I've had companies where I ran into problems and said, hey, this is a problem, and they just didn't answer. And it's like, okay, if you're going to treat an influencer that way, you're going to treat customers like crap. So I wouldn't recommend them.
That's the only reason, to be honest, like this guy right here. This one, my 30 watt, it's a JTP, OMG laser. It's phenomenal. It works insane. It's great. I love it. I can't say anything bad about it at all. But someone say, hey, Rick, I want to buy one. Boom. I send a message, hey, guy, somebody wants to buy this laser. They don't respond, don't acknowledge. 15 messages you send somebody, they don't even acknowledge or respond to you. And I'm like, dude, I can't recommend people to buy a laser from you if you won't even respond. So you know what I do? Reyes over here, hey guys, they sell those type of lasers as well. And guess what? He's going to respond right away. He's going to give you a good discount. So,
Hey, you skipped a couple of messages here.
Yeah, Roger. Oh, hold on. You skipped.
You didn't do this one. So HVAC, send me an email and I'll hook you up with them. And we'll see if we can get you the discount code. Because, well, as long as they haven't processed the order already, but because it'll save you I think it's 5% or something.
Tell you what, David Pingle wants to win this.
David said, Roger, you must need to get a backup saw when your saw top triggers an accident from contacting your skin.
Well, I do know what triggers it if it touches any kind of metal, not necessarily embedded in the wood, although if it's big enough it will, or if you hit your miter gauge with it, or if the wood is real wet. Hot dog test? I'm going to, I know it has a bypass. I'm going to buy an extra brake for it, but I do have another saw. I have a DeWalt table saw as well.
No, but are you going to do the hot dog test?
No, he's going to use his finger.
I'm not going to.
Come on, man.
That's a
I did talk to a SawStop sales guy, and he said that when they first came out, he was using his finger to show people, hey, look how safe this is, and SawStop made him stop doing that for liability reasons, obviously. So he had to use the hot dog at that point.
Chris said my 3018 lasted a week before I ordered the 4080.
Yeah, they're just not good.
No other way to say it.
I mean, you get, so if you're going to buy
meme, that's going to become a meme. Yeah,
if you're going to buy $150 CNC, you're going to get $150 CNC. It's got a terrible motor. It's like the same motor they used to use in slot car racing.
Yeah, it is.
It's really crappy.
The first time I ever saw the spindle motor on one of those, I was like, I had an RC car that had a more powerful motor on this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you just you get what you pay for.
JS Genesis Design said the art of the deal. People don't have money, and getting them to buy things they don't need is a challenge. Somebody once told me I could sell a pool salesman at pool. Windy City Smokers, I need to get working on parts for my Smoker Direct in bulk to reduce costs. Right now, I'm getting all my parts from Amazon. Yeah, well, need to buy them from Andy.
Buy a container full of them from Ali.
Yeah. Chris Gallagher, as Rick says, see something and adapt to it for your wants and needs. Exactly. Oh, Nancy's back. Hey, Nancy, happy hump day. Happy hump day.
She made it before quitting time today.
Yeah.
DeLonger's going to town over there.
She's still looking for someone to help with the Monport.
Monport contacted me again this week about a fiber laser, and I said, hey, I've been trying to work with you guys for a year, and they keep pulling the plug at the last minute or want me to sign some reprehensible contract. And it's like, I'm not going to sign a contract with you if you want me to help sell your laser. If I like it, I'll do it. Right? You don't have to lock me in.
Chris said, is there such a thing as too much money? People that say money doesn't buy happiness. If you want, let me know. I'll give you my Cash App. You can send me all your money, and I'll take your problems away from you.
So all I can say to that comment about money not buying happiness, I retired at 58. So I'm happy, and that only came with money.
Chris said, I designed small as practice and resize up later, then resize down. I think that we're saying that will work easy for a laser, and I think you should, just because with a laser, even though it's going to be a big, you could start doing some tests. But I think, as it was talked earlier, that may be a different path with CNCs, right? Because of the tool path.
Yeah.
That may not be as easily achievable.
Well, it is better with CNC if you start from something smaller and make it bigger, because the tool paths will still work at that point. They might take a long time, but the
other thing with CNC is everything is V carving is different than everything else, just because of how V carving works. It goes to the depth. The bit goes to the depth it needs to achieve the width, the desired width. So if you make that bigger, your bit's actually going to go deeper. If you make that smaller, your bit's not going to have to go as deep. And then you can get in angles of bits, and that change. Anyways,
it gets pretty deep.
Anything other than V carving isn't as difficult to size up and size down.
Nancy says, "Yep, I only get Steve's channel on my feed." We told you before, you have to hit the bell for notifications. Just because you subscribe or follow someone doesn't mean you.
So I'm a little concerned with this comment, Nancy. Does this mean you're not? My feed is telling you the wrong time? Because that would be a problem.
Jack in the shop said, "I bought a long mill CNC with no clue what I would do, ever sell anything, just to play with it. It did not take long before people saw what I was making and started getting offers."
Yeah, there you go. That's how you grow. Organic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jared Price, thanks guys for the effort watching from Alabama. Hello. Roger, I saw the video you did on this giveaway.
Yeah, I think I just posted that yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it too.
I watched this video too. Watched all those fancy new intro graphics you have.
I did see that. I saw that.
Thought I was watching a news channel there for a second.
Yeah, guys, make sure you're putting in the Shop Talk Live if you want to get the giveaway. Let's see.
Yeah, I know about the doll. I've heard about it. Mattel made a big mistake.
Yeah, I don't think that was a mistake. I think that was a disgruntled graphic artist or something.
Yeah, that could be.
This will teach Mattel. They'll send all their customers, their 5-year-old customers, to a porn site.
So we promise we don't talk politics, but I have to bring this up. And it is talk amongst laser manufacturers right now. If these new tariff laws come into effect, lasers may jump up like by $2,000 to $4,000.
Well, at least 100%, right? Like double in price.
No, because what's happening is that, like, let's just say Eon Lasers, right? Or like any of these companies who are saying they're American or whatever, and they're rebranding or assembling. There's some weird thing where they have to have some kind of insurance policy, have so much inventory in stateside to be considered that. There's a whole lot that they have to do to be able to be considered and proved that is legit, and it's going to be like so that somebody just can't deem themselves as American made to get out of those tax loopholes. There's going to be some things they're going to have to jump through, and it's going to be a significant cost to that company if they want to actually continue to do that. And that may actually eliminate a lot of manufacturers that may not be able to get those bondings or those costs to do that. But yeah, that was a discussion I had earlier today with a manufacturer that was explaining to me all that, and I was like, I almost wish I could have recorded it because it was like so much information. I was trying to like absorb it, but I was driving and I couldn't write some of these things down. But of course, everything's still up in the air right now, and it's kind of hearsay. But manufacturers are kind of gearing up, and they're lawyering up, so to speak, and preparing for these upcoming changes. So we all know the Black Sunday, Black Friday, and Thanksgiving, Christmas. The manufacturers kind of like blow out all this year and last year's items. So if you had some pocket change you're looking to spend, and there's a good significant chance come January that price is going to go way up, it might be a good idea to spend some money. So that's all I'm saying.
And if you're buying a laser or a CNC, you can probably find affiliate codes in all of our channels. So
yeah, actually, Longer is I'll post them later, but Longer gave us some significant cost savings codes that you guys can use to check out.
Yeah. Longer, by the way, for Black Friday is having a pretty big sale too, right? So
yep.
So
I'll post those.
I've been busy. I haven't had time to post their stuff to my community tab. But
they wanted me to.
So Chris is responding to your posting your video link. He's going to post his to Clack. Clack's probably on the channel. He lurks here on Wednesday nights. So
he's always on our live.
You can send it to him.
Yeah. Clack he's a bud. He's always in our lives as well. I join his live every Sunday.
I'm looking at the Shop Talk Live things here. Clayton could have some competition tonight.
Yeah. Oh, look at it. Look, Clayton. I don't know, man. You're slacking.
Bosnian truckers going to town.
Yeah, for a while, David Pingle was blowing it up.
This is more of an experiment in human dynamics.
I guess this is everyone getting ready for next week's giveaway on the laser. I was actually going to post my unboxing and first burn. It was just showing that it worked in light burn yesterday, but I was just so beat from talking to them. I'm like, dude, man, like.
So this comment here about the comm marker. Apparently, there's some. I think it was Commarker. There's some challenge to get Commarker to send you a laser in Australia, but give it a shot. I got to find out what that is. I don't know if Australia and China are having some kind of a dispute of some sort, but it seemed like it was somebody wanted to order one.
This is my only advice. If I had to jump through hoops to get a laser, And if it had any kind of warranty, I wouldn't want to jump through hoops that I couldn't get another one.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So you may just want to just go down a different road. I'm not talking bad about anybody. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now, what I don't know is if this was Commarker specific,
right?
Or
I'm just saying,
all companies. I don't know.
Right. I'm just saying if it was specific to the company that they're not shipping for whatever reason.
I don't think it's specific to any particular company. Maybe the Australian government is trying to protect their laser industry. I don't know.
Dennis said, most people always have the money to buy something that they really want. Most people always have the money to buy something that they really want.
Yeah. In other words, you'll go hungry and so you can get it. But
I seem to have money and can't find anything to buy. Right. I sold a ton of stuff and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to Home Depot and buy a tool, and I'm like, I don't buy something just to buy something. Like, damn, but every when I don't have the money, it's like, oh.
I have a long list of things that I'd like to get. Some for YouTube stuff, some for my shop, and I don't have the money to buy them. Someday.
Yeah, those jack-o'-lanterns I ended up doing 2,600. Those jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah. So, Halloween.
Yeah, 2,600, and then the gift that I made for my wife for the breast cancer one, and I only posted it because my son actually made it. $300, not included in that.
Sweet.
So, and that was not even trying to sell it. That was just people saying that I know, hey, I want it. So that's why I bought this drill press that I really wanted. And then I got something that's kind of cool, but Andy, you're gonna say you could do that on a CNC. But I got this big giant clamp.
Nice.
It has a Z and a Y axis. And just so that when I'm making those holes, when I line it all up, I can just kind of bring it over, make them. And the, I don't know, those bits that I showed earlier that make it round.
Yeah.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, I still think CNC is the way to go. What if you change glasses? Then you're gonna have to buy a new drill bit.
I agree, but I'm not gonna use this big giant bit on that 2 trees.
No.
That'd be a video.
No, but you wouldn't have to, right? You could
how to burn your motor out. Let's go, guys.
You could just use like a ball nose bit and like put a 1/4-inch ball nose in there.
Well, I forget the guy's name. I'm sure you know who he is. He's another big CNC guy. I talk to him once in a while. He's been making videos back to back lately, trying to break bits and actually ruin his CNC. Have you seen this video?
No. Who's this?
He's like, let's see if we can cut at 1,000, whatever. And he's like, you hear the motor. He goes,
Sounds fun.
I was like, dude, you must just have money just to piss away, man. You know, because let's just try to destroy something.
Usually you break a bit when you're not trying.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can intentionally break a bit, obviously, but it most of the time happens when you're not trying.
Yeah, like if you have a 1/4-inch bit in a spindle, it's hard to break that thing.
Yeah, it's easy. People are going to be like, this doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense. It's easier to break a bit by running your CNC too slow than not fast, or then fast.
It's trying to hog it, right? So
it's all about heat. All right.
Nancy said, Steve, I signed up for the Kittle. I like it. I renewed it for a whole year. So
I like Kittle. I've been talking to the Kittle guys because I keep saying to them, hey, you got to make more tools for people like me, people who are makers. And one of the things they're talking about is node editing on vector files, which is like, so as soon as I can get it, I'll do a video on it. But node editing would be awesome.
Yeah, I've got a relationship with Kittle. They're good people. They've always been really good to me.
Yeah.
Nancy said, imagine what Eon's going to cost painful. So George, he had joined one of our lives a little while back. He's at Eon headquarters right now. And he was at the back and he was like, If you're trying to purchase a laser and you want to know if a company's successful, look at this. Eon owns this. And they showed like a miniature Sprinter, not even like a full-size Mercedes one. It was like the minivan version of one, and then a semi. And I was like, look, man, if I was going to purchase a laser, I wouldn't purchase a laser based off a company owning 2 vehicles. That was maybe not good.
We own a truck. Buy our laser.
You know, you got kind of mad at me, but they're expensive, 100%. You know, and I'm not bashing them, you know, but they're expensive. Look at that! Look at that, guys. This is the laser we're going to be giving away in action.
Looking good. So the nicest thing about diode lasers is you can generally do proper grayscale with them, which is hard with CO2s. It's, well, usually impossible. It's impossible with diode and fiber lasers. Hey, Gord.
Hey, so Roger, I would ask you, because you seem to be the tile king doing this a lot on a lot of different lasers. What do you notice? How do you think it's performing based on your previous experiences on doing tiles with other different type of lasers?
It's not as fast as my 30 or 40 watt ones. That's what I usually do it on. But
what do you think about the resolution or the quality of the cut?
The quality is really good, and you'll see that once we get that pulled off of there, and I wash it. Or do I wash it or do I wash it? Which way do you do that?
And one things we had talked about too was that maybe necessarily intentionally engraving something with a really high resolution or extremely high detailed to make it take longer at a trade show, because that'll draw a crowd, right? They're watching this thing go. So we were also saying that it's maybe not
if your line density is smaller than the maximum, like the height of your beam, you're just going to mess things up, right? Because it ends up being really dark, poor resolution. So you don't want to step less than the pretty close to the height of your beam. You can go down a bit. There you go. See,
Clack said lurking. I'm just working in the shop. LOL.
See, I think he's just working in the shop waiting for his name to drop here.
Yeah. Chris said, I knew my comment would bring out the hiding OG day. Good day. Yeah, that's why I said, I should message her. Where are you at?
Still, Clack, when are you going to join? You got to come on for a week. We'll all go down to your place and we'll all work on your projects to get them done if you come and hang out for a couple hours.
Dennis, we do giveaways all the time. This is our 4th laser giveaway. This is, and we're giving away some pretty decent lasers. So, you can see it working for yourself in the live feed that Roger's sharing.
It looks great.
Yeah, and if you've never seen a galvo laser work before, this is what they call a galvo. You don't have the X and Y axis moving. The laser's moved by galvometers inside the head.
Empire Laser said, we don't have a laser industry, Steve. Laugh out loud.
I was waiting for him to come back with that, actually.
Whole lot of Shop Talk Lives. There they go, guys.
We don't have a laser industry in Canada either.
Steve for Kiddo, do you find it? What?
I guess that's how do you find it? I love Kittle. I use it for anything that doesn't require dimensional accuracy. So any graphics, basically. My logo. This thing was done with Kittle.
Yep. Shop Talk Live. Here we go. Nancy, I'd buy Eon if I had the money, if I had the space and the big one, as you say, but crying once, still a girl crying can dream one day. They might start accepting plasma, right?
Dude, you keep skipping comments, man. You missed this one too. The follow-up question. So Steve, yeah, this so Kittle actually has an AI engine for building logos. You can say, make me a logo that's round, that has this text on it, has a graphic that looks like this on it, and it'll go generate a bunch of them for you. So it works kind of cool. This my own logo. This thing was done with Kittle AI. I just said, make me a logo for my channel that has a laser on it.
I guess Clack is commenting how many years until he retires because he's not allowed to say it on his own live. Yeah, I got retired 322 days, not enough time in a week. His crime and partners does forbid him to say it because he was upset, I guess. You guys are awesome.
Rubbing it in, I think,
your
is the
videos.
word.
I learned a lot. There you go. More Shop Talk Live. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, guys.
Keep asking questions. Yeah.
Hello. Nancy said, Empire Laser, weren't you the one saying you were headed to Miami, Florida? Forgot who posted a few comments ago. Yeah, it's looking good, Roger.
Yeah, it's just about done, and I'll go over there and get it, and I'll put it in the sink here, get some water on it.
So if we pan your camera over just to the left or right, is there a pile of rejected Santa Claus tile sitting there?
No, this is the only one thing sitting over there is my laptop, and I've got the laser behind my monitor so I can't see it because
it looks good.
That would be blinding if I had to look at that all night. I'd have to have my bug eye goggles on.
Football instant replay, so I kind of saw Andy's eyes when you said that.
I thought we were going to see the.
Yeah, you're thinking of your other channel.
Different channel.
Wrong channel. So one thing people are asking me too is that, and people say it all the time, is can you run Lightburn more than once to run more than one laser? You know.
Yes.
And if you do run more than one, do you need some expensive, crazy computer?
No.
So the only thing that
Roger and I are in vehement agreement.
The only thing that I would say is that if you're going to do that, it'd probably be easier for you to have a second monitor to just rip that version up and be able to look at too. I'm actually going to take an old TV that I'm no longer using and bring down and put on this wall so that I can open Lightburn 4 times. You know, and to make my mind not go nuts, I'm just going to label it so I know that permanently this is, what laser.
The one nice thing about XCS is you can run all the laser jobs for different lasers in the same session. So, and you get a tab across the top for each one, and it tells you what laser it is, which is nice.
Hold on.
Hang on, hold it.
All right, this is before I wash it, whichever way you want to say it. So I'm going to set this in the sink, run water on it. I got to let the glue dissolve. And it'll take a minute.
What he's concocted here to create these results.
Stay tuned for the reveal.
Yeah.
Mixing the titanium dioxide with glue is actually a good idea.
Yes, it is on a tile.
Yes, and it is ceramic. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you show Dennis Huddleston's comment? He's just up a little bit. Anyways, he hooked up with Kittle from one of my videos.
Nice.
Yeah, they're good people.
They are good people. Steve, you need to ask them. I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but I was on their podcast, Coffee with Kittle.
Yeah, I did that.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Talk to Drew. Drew's a good guy too.
Drew is a really good guy.
Chris said I run an old 40. Oh, hold on.
No.
That's after the glue's been and the titanium dioxide has been washed off. That's just a ceramic tile you buy at the home store, and it's still a little wet, but it come out pretty good. So that was done on the Nano Pro. And I did it without the shield on it because you wouldn't be able to see anything.
Or do you mind sharing that process?
Sorry, Roger. It was a dither, right? Or grayscale, not dither.
That is dither.
It's Jarvis or something.
Just straight dither.
Oh, well, then you can do it on a CO2 laser. Probably won't look as nice as that because the beam is about 4 times the area. But
yeah, the resolution on that, of course, I did a 300 DPI, but of course now somebody's going to want to know the speed and the power, and so
you got 3,000 settings.
I'm going to reveal it. It's 3,000 millimeters per minute, 80% max power, 5% minor power, minimum power.
Yeah, and then tomorrow it could be a different setting completely.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Humidity changes or something.
You had done something to that tile prior to engraving it, correct?
Yeah, I mix titanium dioxide, water, and Elmer's glue, and shake the dickens out of it till the Elmer's glue dissolves in the water and everything. That's basically the carrier for the titanium dioxide. The way I've done it in the past would mix it with alcohol. The problem is you do not dare touch that tile because once the alcohol evaporates, the titanium dioxide just powder on there. Or if you walk by a fan, it'll blow it all off. So with the Elmer's glue in there, it actually makes it stick to the tile, and I don't have to use acetone like I used to do when I use white paint. I just put it under water and use magic eraser, and it comes right off.
Nice.
Roger, how long did that take for someone that wasn't paying attention?
Half
an hour?
Less than 30 minutes.
Less than 30 minutes.
I'm looking at how long we've been on and about when I put it on. So, yeah, it's about 30 minutes.
Nice.
Nancy wants to know, what's your ratio?
Till I like the way it looks.
Scientific.
I do not measure it. I put water in there. I dump a bunch of titanium dioxide in the jar. I use a fruit jar, mason jar. And then I dump in glue and start shaking it until it looks kind of like thin paint. So then I put it in my spray gun and spray it.
Nancy, I guess to answer your question, it'd be like you asking your mom, how much flour or water do you put to make tortillas? Oh, until it feels right. What the heck is that supposed to be?
My mother's Irish. She wouldn't know how to make tortillas anyway. All right. So, yeah, the P2S. So it is expensive. There's no question. At the end of the day, you buy what makes you happy, right? I like the P2S only for a couple of reasons. If you need different materials, you don't have to guess because they got a vast library of presets for materials, and you can just click it and it automatically sets up XES. There's a big community around it as well. And I think they're going to great efforts to make their lasers more of an appliance. So you turn it on, you push a button, and something happens, as opposed to, especially since you picked mom port, these lasers are much more of an experiment. We'll say there's a lot of tinkering in CO2s in general. And the thing I like about the P2S is you set it up, and that's pretty much all you're ever going to have to do. You might have to clean the optics once in a while, but these other lasers, and I include my own DIY laser in this mix, there's a lot of maintenance. And that's one of the things that XES has strived to avoid. So
Gordon said, where did you get the titanium dioxide?
Amazon.
It's actually used it's a food grade material. It's used in.
It's not expensive either.
And no, I bought it. When I did a video on it a while back, I bought some more, and I bought it in like a 2-pound bag. And the thing is just like, it's enough of this to make 1 million tiles.
So we jokingly said the ratio, but Roger, are you making it to a paste basically so you could paintbrush it on, or are you spraying it on? How are you applying it?
I spray it on with a spray gun. Actually, it's a Harbor Freight purple spray gun.
So it's obviously got to be thinned out enough that you're spraying it through a gun.
Right.
So it's pretty watery then.
Oh, it's like a thin paint, let's say,
Right.
and I mix paints. Of course, I spray lacquers and enamel. I spray all kinds of stuff. You can also do it with an airbrush. If you're only going to do a few of them, but to put it on evenly with a foam brush or a paint brush, you won't. It pretty much needs to be sprayed. And you could probably do it with a misting bottle with the little trigger bottle things.
Yeah, I've done it with the mixing bottle. Or misting bottle. They get, the problem is the nozzle in a misting bottle is too small, so they get plugged up. If you're using like a sprayer for paint, like for spray paint, that has a much bigger nozzle in it, right? So I think you'd get a better flow.
I don't remember the size of the orifice on the Harbor Freight purple, but it's right out of the box in Harbor Freight. They're $10 spray gun, their cheapest one. So if you forget to clean it out, you can just throw it away and get another one.
Yeah. Nancy said, I agree with Steve that $4,000 and probably a new husband cost. He bought the
you buy the $4,000 laser and get a new husband, or do you buy the cheap laser and have to keep the old guy?
Every time you're doing a live, you're buying something new, so you must have deeper pockets than majority of the subscribers. Let's say that. You're doing all right. You're doing something right. That's what I would say. You're doing something right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Whether $4,000 is value to you or not, I guess, is a totally subjective thing. I know Xtool has sold a pile of these things, but Monport has also sold a pile of lasers. So, yeah.
It's really funny. I have a neighbor across the street. That's not the funny part. Everybody has neighbors, but he has his garage open and he does woodworking on Sunday or on like Saturday mornings. Every Saturday mornings out there. He recently got a laser. I don't talk to him. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. No animosity if you're watching.
We all have those neighbors.
Anyways, we kind of keep to ourselves, right? But anyways, he had his garage door up, and he has a mom port in there, and he recently got it, and I'm like, does this guy have any idea what I do?
I'm sure he does.
Maybe it's time you guys get together for a beer.
I know, we really should, and it's one of those things. We've lived here for 10 years, and we say hi, but that's like the extent of it, right?
Yeah, he's probably copying your whole Etsy story.
Probably.
Well, I think everybody seems to have some type of neighbor like that. I mean, neighbor on one side, I hang out in his garage. Of course, he's got a really fancy race car and a garage. I'd love to have his garage and his shop. But then on the other side of us, we've been here for 30 years, and again, you just say kind of hi, and that's it.
Yeah.
See, I'm that guy that doesn't talk to you in my neighborhood. There's a few people here I talk to on a regular basis.
Here's Steve with his head held high.
No, it's just I'm antisocial. What can I say?
No, when I first moved to my neighborhood, I was the first Mexican. So I was like, sorry guys, there's a Mexican neighborhood now. Didn't mean
like
to
people put houses up for sale or something. Like, why does this make a difference?
Probably because I had bigger house than any of my neighbors. That didn't help either, But yeah. All right, we're at 8:11. Roger, you wanna pull the plug and we'll see who our winner is before we cut out?
Yeah, I'll show this again real quick.
Pull the plug. No pun intended. I actually have one of these, not this particular one, but one like this. It's attached to my home assistant, and it turns on my patio lights at night. And I love the thing. It's one of those things you don't have to think about, and that's the best piece of technology.
And the other thing you can do with the phone app or the app on a tablet, of course, I've got Android, is you can set up a schedule to automatically turn it on and off.
Nice.
And you can
I
do
say
that
the
with
only downside to stuff like this is you get addicted to it. You're not gonna have one, right? You're gonna buy another one.
Oh no, yeah.
My whole house is automated. It's like it started with light switches.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty decent long cord on it too. It's that 6-foot cord.
All right.
And it's nice, heavy, and the thing's waterproof. We're gonna use it for Christmas lights this year.
All right, guys, hit the Shop Talk Live because I'm about to close it up. and do the drawing. So if you want to do it, hit it. Here we go.
Drum roll,
Let's
please.
draw.
He's got some competition tonight. Let's see. There we go.
Oh,
All
Excuse
that
me,
cut
David
and paste
Pluto, are
paid
you in the
off.
building?
yeah.
Yep. Got to be present to win.
Are you in the building?
Oh, he's here. He's got to be here.
Comment. It's weird how it like slows down. It's like it's teasing you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it does just one more.
Yeah. Come on, David. Where are you at, David?
He was here. It looks like his last comment was 8:37.
Well, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my time. That's 8:37
there he is.
now.
Yep, there he is.
Yay!
All right, congratulations. Let me go ahead and share my email address with you. Do me a favor, just go ahead and shoot me an email.
And it'll come to you in a box like this.
And please provide your mailing address and first and last name. And if you would be so nice enough, if you'd like to make my job easier, you could always, if you shared it on Facebook, you can send me a link and I can just verify you shared. That'd be nice. But again, make sure I repeat the rules. You have to be a subscriber to all 4 of our channels. You have to at least liked one video. You have to at least shared one video, and you have to have commented on at least one video. Now, if you want to share more than one video, if you want to comment on more than one video,
and good. Feel free to like them all.
Yeah. And when you subscribe to us, don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so that you know that when we post new content, we go live.
Yeah. A reasonably small percentage of people on my channel have clicked the bell, so they don't see things that are happening. They don't get notifications from the community. They don't get notifications on new videos. They certainly don't hear about the live stream. So,
yes, and
my channel's the same way.
Yeah.
And again, don't forget.
The only one who's lazy.
Don't forget about
click that little bell.
Don't forget about the Facebook group that we've created, the Shop Talk Live. I'd love to see people post and share upcoming items they're making.
Yeah, post some of your projects.
And I'm going to start sharing files on there. Some free 99 for people, and something you'd actually make money with, not just that you're like, why did I waste my time downloading this? So check it out. It is a private group, so I only ask that if we share files, don't share them in other groups. They're for our group. You're welcome to make them and make money, but just don't share the files. That's the point of the group.
Our elitist little group that we have.
Yeah, it's growing. I think it's got like 145 people so far.
Yeah, it was over 140 the other day when I looked.
Let's see.
Nice.
Uh-oh, what's this? What doesn't work, Nancy? Oh, see, Clack's starting a new one now, the Cool Kid Club.
There you go.
You posted it, Rick. I saw you posted some industrial lasers in the group. There's some video of some industrial lasers. They were pretty awesome. I'd like to have a couple of those, especially anything that can cut metal.
Yes.
3 kilowatt laser.
Very cool. For sure. Yeah, so 142 members.
It doesn't work. This doesn't work.
The bell notification. I mean, it should, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe then unfollow, unsubscribe, and resubscribe. Something stuck goofy.
Well, I'm just going to log in and try. Let me see what happens.
I click the bell on each one of yours. I know that because I get the notification you guys post new stuff.
Yeah, I've clicked the bell on things.
Yeah, another winner. Very cool. Niches. Yep. YouTube is consistent with notifications.
Inconsistent. Yeah.
Inconsistent notifications.
Yeah. Well.
Now I had a strange thing happen here with YouTube this week. One of the videos I uploaded, which is unlisted, it's not public. It's had 2 views and 1 like, and I can't for the life of me figure out how that was even possible.
Have you shared that link with anybody?
No.
You're watching your own videos and liking them?
No, I haven't watched that one back yet. Of course, I watched it before I uploaded it, but right after edit. But I was just kind of surprised to see there was 2 views and 1 like, unless Jimitsu has some secret way into seeing what's going on my channel. It's about
maybe it's time you change your password just in case.
So I'm looking this up real quick.
thesilverfox.com. I'm gonna buy that domain, Steve. Forward it to your
and just
website.
Put my picture on it. Yeah, don't do that.
Just a picture of you like this.
There's not too many things that I would bring out the lawyers for. I might bring it out for that.
The Silver Fox might do it.
Yeah, the only way for someone to view an unlisted video is if they have a link, or that they found that link somewhere.
They said unless Jimitsu has some secret way to find out when I'm posting it on their stuff, but it just kind of surprised me to see that.
Or there's just somebody spamming YouTube until they find a link.
Yeah.
But that seems kind of silly because 99.99% of them will be public anyway.
Making sure I got his email. Let's see. Got it. He's from Wisconsin.
Oh, close by.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
someone's
weird.
Yes, have unicorn spit stain on wood items. Absolutely. Let me show you this.
You're gonna keep that in your back pocket too now, Rick?
This is unicorn spit.
It does look nice.
Yeah. So that Amazon item, the unicorn spit?
Unicorn spit is a stain that they say is not your grandpa's stain. You see the glitter in it? Can you see it?
Yeah, but you buy that on Amazon or Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, you can buy it on Amazon, Hobby Lobby. I mean, it's a name brand. Hold on.
It's got to be true. My grandfather would never use pink stains.
It's got to be true.
Glitter. I don't think glitter was invented when he was doing woodworking. Huh.
I'm not going to say the person's name because they definitely watch my channel, but it seems that when I post something on Facebook, like the unicorn spit, immediately on all the Facebook groups I posted, she's posting Amazon affiliate links to go buy it. So here's a unicorn spit. There's all different colors, obviously. They're not all that sparkly. If you're not into that, you don't have to have, but the sparklies kind of have like a pearl color.
It's not super cheap, this stuff.
No, but I would say this. It's not like watery stain. It's kind of thick, almost like a paste. So like when you can paint like that size of that front of that picket with like 2 little dots on the paintbrush. So it'll go a long way. This is green.
Wow. Does it clean? It cleans up with water?
Yes.
So it must be acrylic based or something.
Yeah. So the only other thing I would say is if you are debating or if you actually like it, I wouldn't buy the single one. I'd buy the kit. You know what I mean? They have like the sparkly kit, the pastel kit. because there's at least a decent discount in price that later you can be like, damn it, you spent way more money. So if you're going to buy more than 2, then just buy the 6, right? Because you're going to come back. So that's what I ended up just buying 2, and then I'm sending it back. I got them all. So I got the blue, the orange, the green, the purple.
Does a little bit go a long way?
Yeah. So that's why I said, like, painting this entire front was like 2 drops on the paintbrush.
Oh, wow.
Of course, the paintbrush was this big around.
No.
And the drops were.
Here's the paintbrush.
Drop the whole container.
There it is. Yeah, look at that.
A little tiny, it's a little.
That's not too big, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this paintbrush is.
It's not like a 4-inch wide house brush.
It's just, if it's for size reference, like the size of my pointer finger.
Well, I've heard you got big hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, now you see that. Now you see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of hard to pick up on the camera, but
I know you said you sold $300 of those, $300 in those.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could sell the crap out of those.
Oh yeah, I know, but I wasn't even trying to sell them.
Yeah,
because there's no end to the occasions you could make those things for. Right?
But what happened was, remember, my mother-in-law passed away from cancer. This was only a gift from my son to my wife. Yeah. And when I posted it, what I didn't realize was people are like, "Hey, can you make me a blue one? Can you make me a purple one? Can you make what?" I'm like, "What?" And I was like, kind of like trying to wrap this up to start the cutting board, like switch my gears, so to speak. So 200% I could sell these. And I think these will sell year round because it has to do with cancer. Yes, you can sell more during breast cancer month. Yes, you can sell, but cancer stuff you could sell year round.
Yep.
So sadly,
I like this. Yeah, unfortunately. And I like this design. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a question in here that is relevant. Did you put a top coat on that afterwards?
Okay, so only on the front. And on the sides, I did not.
Okay, you can see the difference there.
So it's like a satin finish normally?
Yes.
And then you put gloss on the front? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I spray painted it. I'll show you. So just to show how thick that kind of looks, I put this on the top. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'll show you what I use.
Maybe.
What did he do? He got lost. Yeah, I use that stuff.
Just a clear coat.
Yep.
Yeah, but the thing is that people keep asking me if it's glaze because how thick that is.
Yeah, how many coats you put in on it?
So all I did was I did 3 coats, but I paid from every direction. So I did one this way, one, you know what I mean? So it kind of pulled it up. So I did every direction that I could, I guess, top, bottom, left, right, let it dry, and I did that 3 times. And it's like thick. Yeah, so it looks like a glaze. It's actually like pretty thick.
There you go.
But yes, unicorn spit, I think they're awesome. You could definitely make some unique colors, some cool things. If you're getting into the cancer thing, they have some unique colors that people would like.
You're not mixing it. Lance is asking this question.
No, it says you can actually dilute it down. I didn't dilute it down at all. I literally just took this paintbrush, I put a couple drops on it, and I spread it out. It's almost going to seem like a paste. So, yeah. I'm really interested to make some Halloween stuff with this green next year.
I was looking at some of the colors. There's one called Dragon's Belly that looks really cool.
Yeah, it's like this orange and the green. I can't wait till Halloween next year. I'm like, oh man, I got some cool ideas.
There's probably some glow in the dark one here too, right?
Yeah.
There's a question here from David about finish that does glow in the dark. Rust-Oleum makes one.
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
And what's cool about the Rust-Oleum glow in the dark, it's expensive. What's cool is if you go buy a cheap laser, like the one you mess with your cats with, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Just like the one at the Dollar General, $2 red laser, key fob laser. Yeah. Right on it. Because that glow in the dark, since you're putting that laser on it, it's like it'll be a lot brighter than the rest that was charged by the sun.
Huh.
This is something your kid taught you, I bet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we did is we made a couple whites, and then we white stained them, and then we put the glow in the dark on top of them, and then just goofing around with that, it actually, did that. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, definitely, Andy. I think that design, going the whole cancer route, and I'm not like going down anyone's losses, but my niche is memorial. So, to me, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I think, we're tempted to think like, oh, I can't believe you're profiting off cancer. Well, no, you were helping people remember and celebrate loved ones.
Yep.
So there's nothing ill will against that. I think I see these things, like these thoughts that people get, and they're like roadblocks to they don't want to be that person.
But what I would say is that it only takes one time to see the appreciation in someone's face when you bring someone to tears, when you're a stranger and they hug you and they cry. It's like, wow. And that's why I love doing memorial stuff. If I make a plaque that's or one of those things, I think a big thing that's selling right now, if you guys are looking for smalls that sell, it's just a little thing that hangs on the wall with a square box on the bottom with a bottle opener. And that you could probably make it for $6 and they're selling for $35, $45. I can make those all day. People are like, thanks, no big deal. But I make something memorial, and it's like you became like a friend to that person forever.
Yep.
Yep. It's a different appreciation.
Allow them to create a permanent connection to, they're still here, right? And create a permanent memory. So.
Yeah. So I'm not
at the end of the day, you have
to
to make some money, but you're not charging them $1,000. Like you're not,
right.
Yeah,
absolutely. So again, what we always say is find your own niche. I'm not saying everyone to run out and become the memorial niche and go down that road. But just whatever it is, specialize in it and, do what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, products that I always talk about that from a high level, products that make people like evoke some kind of emotion. I mean, they sell well.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like we're at time, guys. Congratulations to our winner for the smart cord.
Smart stick.
What's it called?
Smart stick.
Smart stick.
Or smart plug, either way.
Smart plug, smart stick, smart cord. You can call it whatever you want. Just don't call it a smart ass.
No.
But thank you guys for joining our live. Make sure to join next week live. Do not miss next week's live. Already people are talking about that they've missed or not getting notifications. So if you are a subscriber to us, click on the bell. Click on all 4 of the bells. So that way that one of us isn't notifying you. If the saying is 50-50, you'll get it for sure. Don't miss an opportunity to win the laser that's behind me here. Again, this is not a used one from us. This will be directly from the manufacturer. You did see it at first in hand of Roger actually using it and creating a tile that looked phenomenal. And we will have longer on the live with us for any live questions, answers that you may have. So thank you guys. God bless. Appreciate everyone.
I think in general, always join our live chat because you never know when we're going to give something away.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
we don't always announce it. We don't always announce it.
Yeah.
And don't forget to join our Facebook group so that you can find out about upcoming events. And if we have discount codes, of course, we will share. You guys want to say anything on the closeout?
No, this was good tonight.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and congratulations, David. Well, when I get the information from Rick, I'll get that up to you.
You'll have to give us a report back when you get it so we know that you're making progress.
Absolutely. All right, I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining. God bless.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Well.
Bye.